sure you know them all. And they all have something in common. They're British. The UK has a long-standing tradition of producing great audiovisual content. And looking at recent market figures, we can certainly say that the UK is one of the biggest audiovisual markets in Europe. Now, in days gone by, UK broadcasters and UK works benefited fully from the advantages provided by the EU single market. This is, as you know, not the case anymore. But what does this mean in concrete terms? The EU single market is built on 4 freedoms: free movement of goods, capital, services and people. These freedoms are now restricted between the EU and the UK. First of all, let's talk about people. Fortunately, short-term visits continue to be visa-free. But new rules apply to the provision of services and travelling for business from the UK to the EU, Switzerland, Norway, Iceland and Liechtenstein. And in the same way, creative workers moving from the EU to the UK for temporary work must now adhere to the UK's Tier 5 visa system. There is only one exception to these rules. According to the Common Travel Area, CTA, British and Irish citizens can move freely and reside in either the UK or Ireland and enjoy associated rights and privileges. With regards to the movement of goods, items necessary for press, broadcasting or cinematographic activities will be granted temporary admission to the territory of either party, with, again, special rules for the movement of goods between Northern Ireland and Great Britain. Now, for services and goods to circulate freely in the market, some rules are required. The European Union has exclusive competence in establishing the competition rules necessary for the functioning of the EU internal market, and these rules also concern state aid measures for the audiovisual sector, that is, public funding and fiscal incentives. Now, these EU rules on state aid no longer apply to the UK. That means that the UK will be free to decide on how and to which extent it will provide state aid to the cinema and audiovisual sectors. All of this takes place within the limits of World Trade Organization subsidy rules and other international commitments entered into by the UK. The UK government has already confirmed that it will fund the delivery of a global screen fund worth £7 million in 2021-22 to support independent British screen content. Furthermore, the UK's creative sector tax reliefs are not affected by Brexit. In addition, Brexit will have no impact on co-production agreements signed by the UK, which continues to be a party to the Council of Europe's European Convention on Cinematographic Co-production. Concerning Creative Europe, the UK's participation in this EU support initiative ceased at the end of 2020, but projects funded under the 2014 to 2020 programme will continue to receive funding for the duration of the project. Moreover, UK films will still be eligible for awards made to European distributors and sales agents. With regard to the new programme from 2021 to 2027, many international training courses and industry initiatives will remain open to UK participants. Moving on to the circulation of services, the EU's Audiovisual Media Services Directive, the AVMSD, allows freedom of reception and retransmission of TV and on-demand services from other parties to the European Economic Area, the EEA. But the UK is no longer part of that club. That means that from now on, UK broadcasting services available in the EEA may need 2 types of licenses. An Ofcom licence for services received in the UK and in other countries that have signed and ratified the European Convention on Transfrontier Television, the ECTT, of the Council of Europe. This includes 22 EEA countries. Licenses covering services received in EEA countries not party to the ECTT. EU broadcasting services available in the UK from the EU countries that have not signed and ratified the ECTT will need a licence from Ofcom. Video on demand (VOD) services are not covered by the scope of the ECTT. Therefore, UK providers will need to comply with AVMSD jurisdiction rules as third country if they provide VOD services in an EEA country. If a VOD services head office and editorial decision-making capacity are based in the UK, the provider must notify this to Ofcom before providing the service. Otherwise, VOD services not under UK jurisdiction will continue to be available to UK audiences. These rules are very important and might have an impact on the place of establishment of broadcasters in Europe. Other equally important rules in the AVMSD concern the promotion and distribution of European works. And despite Brexit, the quotas set out in the Audiovisual Media Services Directive will still be valid in the UK. And because the UK has left the EU but does nevertheless remain a European country under the ECTT, works originating in the UK are still considered as European works for the purposes of the AVMSD. Indeed, the definition laid down in the AVMSD includes works originating in states party to the European Convention on Transfrontier Television. Copyright protection obviously remains in place, but there will be some changes. The TCA introduces minimum standards that the parties must adhere to, and the main international copyright treaties apply. There are, however, some changes that have to be taken into consideration. The EU rules on cable retransmissions of broadcasts included in the SATCAB directive do not apply to broadcasts originating in the UK. Rights holders whose works are broadcast from the UK and retransmitted via cable in the EEA may need to negotiate licenses with the cable operator directly and could see statutory licensing terms imposed on the cable retransmission of their works in certain EEA states. UK legislation will continue to apply existing rules to cable retransmissions of broadcasts originating in an EEA member state. Depending on how the domestic legislation of each EEA state treats broadcasts originating from non-EEA countries, UK broadcasters may no longer benefit from the SATCAB directive's country of origin principle for satellite broadcasts into the EEA from the 1st of January 2021, and they may need to obtain additional rights holder permissions covering the EEA states. The country of origin principle will continue to be applied in the UK to satellite broadcasts originating from any country, and these will not need specific rights holder permission for the UK except in cases where the broadcast is commissioned or uplinked to a satellite in the UK, and it originates from a country that provides lower levels of copyright protection. From the 1st of January 2021, it is once more an offence in the UK to use satellite broadcast decoder devices intended for EU audiences to access a programme included in a broadcast made from the UK with the intent of avoiding a charge associated with the programme. The EU portability regulation ceased to apply to citizens travelling between the UK and the EEA from the 1st of January 2021. The EU orphan works exception no longer applies to UK-based institutions, but the UK's orphan works licensing scheme continues to apply in the UK. EEA collective management organisations, the CMOs, are no longer required under the Directive on Collective Management to represent UK rights holders or to represent the catalogues of UK CMOs for online licensing of musical rights. These are, in a nutshell, the new rules of the game. Their implementation, however, might prove more complex than it may seem. Anyway, if you feel like digging a bit deeper, please read our recent publication on this matter.